So I just wanted to just share my experience with panic disorders or freaking the shit out of yourself. Like, I don't know what it was officially called in medical terms, but yeah, I couldn't sleep. It was a panic attack, I guess you could say. So I'll give you a bit of a background story, because I know there's quite a lot of you guys going through a time where you need to feel your emotions, but you're not letting yourself fully feel the emotions out of fear of how bad they're gonna, feel. It's scary. So hopefully this will inspire you to move through that, because you have to remember why it's important to feel these emotions. Because just go back and watch the video I did for my mum of the dangers of not dealing with this stuff. Over time, it's toxic and disease will ensue if you don't deal with it. I'm stubborn, so and unconscious at the time. I didn't know I had to deal with this stuff. So I had to learn the hard way. I was kind of forced into it. It was part of my journey, which I'm grateful for. It's made me who I am today. But basically, so I was in London, personal training, self-employed, so I had to find my own clients. They weren't given to me, so that was always tough for me. I did it for 7 years, and I always had a fear of approaching, strangers on the treadmill with headphones and asking them if they want a free session. Like, it wasn't a nice thing to do, because you'd always get told to, piss off or whatever. But I got back from holidays in December, and in South Africa. It was awesome. Came back with no money, obviously, and I thought, yeah, no worries. I've gotten out of the funk before. I'll just get some new clients, and away we go. And I'm sure my UK family will attest that in January, no one wants to go to the gym when it's the coldest and darkest month that there is in the UK, and I didn't know that. And so my fear around approaching people amplified, because I was really now fear of not able to pay the bills, not being able to pay for my food. Like, I was running very low, and I was living by myself in a studio in a different country, completely isolated, which compounded it as well. And I didn't want to ring my parents. I Skyped my parents every week, and they said, "Mum, yeah, we're all good over here. Don't worry about me. It's all good, blah, 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 blah." I just didn't want to ask for help, stubborn again. But the stubbornness paid off, because if I would have asked for help and asked to get some money, lend some money off my parents, I wouldn't have went through the panic attack, right? So I'll continue. So leading up to this terror of a night, it was just every day constantly on my mind, get new clients. And then I'd go to speak to someone and I'd freak out. I'd be like, oh no, they're not interested. And I just wouldn't. I'd make excuses not to talk to new people. And that doesn't bring you any money. You know what I mean? So it compounded, and it got to a point where this one night I was just freaking the hell out. My mind was racing. I couldn't think straight. I was coming to my normal bedtime of 9:30. And I just couldn't get to sleep, tossing and turning, and having these kind of lucid dreams. But I knew I wasn't dreaming, because I was wide awake, and it was bad, man. I was literally shaking, sweating, felt like crying, and I just wanted it to end, literally. It was just, I just didn't want to go through that anymore. It was painful. And as the hours went by, I thought it's going to get better, and it didn't get better. That whole night felt like a year, and it was horrible, it was terrible. But let me tell you something. That next morning, I was a different man. I woke up full of energy, just as if something came over me, and I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, you've got to fix this. Enough is enough. Go to the gym and just speak to every single person that comes through the door, no matter if what they look like or what you think. Just speak to everybody. And this new mentality, this new personality that came through, this confident Shane that I'd never even experienced before, stayed with me ever since. It literally molded who I am. So the moral of the story: feel the fear, feel the anxiety, freak yourself out. It's only your ego that's scared of you of feeling these emotions. It's the ego that's pulling you back and distracting you with addictions, or distracting you with TV, or distracting you with whatever, to avoid you feeling your emotions. It's giving you stories and excuses of, how scary it is and how bad it's going to feel, and you're psyching yourself out before you even get in there. There's nothing to fear from fear. It feels like shit, but it's so temporary, and the changes are forever. Like, I know it's sadistic of me to say this, but I'll happily go through fear like that again. I'll put up with a night of torture if I can get a lifetime of benefit. It's just a simple investment. And that's how I think about it now. Now I just choose, like, my next goal is to fight an MMA fight in the cage, because I think that's mentally going to be a hard thing for me to do. So I'm actively now choosing to find things that really scare the shit out of me, and that really push me mentally, and that really push my ego to freak out and kind of make excuses and stories about not doing something, when I know that if I do it, I'm going to become a stronger, more confident, more evolved person. Don't be scared of your emotions. Don't be scared of feeling whatever it is that you feel is so scary, or if it's a panic attack or whatever. Feel it, go through it. Your body needs to express itself somehow. It needs to freak out. Your ego needs to see that it's not in charge. It needs to be put into place, right? And in my opinion, it's not scientifically proven, but that kind of panic attack is your soul just saying, ego, shut the hell up, you're not in charge. And it literally behaves after an episode like that. That's what happened to me. Do the work. Set some time aside. Don't be stubborn like I did and wait till you go to sleep and then can't sleep all night. You can avoid that by setting some time aside and going through, visualizing wherever the pain is, and just let your body express itself. It'll change who you are and who you become, and you keep evolving that way.